What's up, you guys? Today I bring part 2 of the things that I think are a complete waste of money. One of the things that I think is a complete waste of money is jewelry. It does nothing for you, particularly the stuff that have stones in it like diamonds or rubies and stuff. Even if you think that stuff has value, it's just useless. Why do I want to be collecting rocks? I already collect a lot of trash, a lot of garbage, a lot of useless things as it is. Why would I want to drop money on stuff like that just because it looks kind of pretty? I mean, there is so much stuff that looks pretty that I don't have to really break the bank for. I don't know people's obsessions with jewelry and metals that shine or metals with stones encrusted to it, but I am not that person. The only jewel that I can say I look forward to is probably my marriage ring, and it's because of the significance. Like, it means that I'm finally a married woman. See, I don't necessarily want to say that I need to be married to enjoy my relationship, but I'm just saying that for me, marriage represents the commitment that we are just good together, we are happy together, so we're ready to officialize it by the means of society. But I don't think about my marriage and I'm looking forward to the wedding and the service and the jewels and everything like that. To me, what I look forward is being with my man the rest of my life. Other people, I hear them talking about their weddings and everything, and they only focus on what kind of food they're going to have, what kind of service they're gonna have, the flowers. I'm going to make the talk be about the fact that I'm marrying the man of my dreams. Period. Another thing that I consider a waste of money is tattoos, and it's really because I just cannot conceive me needing a permanent drawing in my skin, and I just hate that I am making my skin sick and contaminating myself by injecting ink into my skin. And not only that, but the skin that I have now, like I have said before, is not the skin that I'll have 15-20 years from now. So that stuff in my skin is just going to look terrible as time goes by. And I know more people who regret getting their tattoos than those who don't. So that on its own gives me a good tip to stay away from them. Tattoos do nothing for you. They don't give you nutrients. It's not a therapy for the skin. It gives you nothing unless you just feel a positive body image, like it enhances your looks, and you think so, then good for you. But for me, it does not have that effect. This day and age, another thing that is an absolute waste of money is cable TV. And it's because absolutely anything that comes on cable TV you can catch online at any time and technically for free, because I get all of my internet access I get from my phone. Anything that I want to watch or rewatch, whether presently or a year from now, I will be able to with just a few swipes and a tap on the screen. Why are you throwing away money just to see it on a bigger screen? I don't know. To me, my phone is just fine to watch things. Another thing that I think is a waste of money is silverware, and it's because if you guys have been here long enough, there was a video in which I said that I'm that weird person who likes to eat from plastic utensils, and the reason is simple. I tend to bump my teeth into glass or metal things whenever I'm eating or drinking something. My teeth have some parts where it's kind of transparent, which probably means that I am susceptible to having a calcium deficiency. So one of my biggest fears is accidentally chipping my teeth from hitting them on accident when I use metal utensils. For some reason, when I use plasticware, I don't bump into it as much, or maybe since it's not that hard, I don't notice it. But for me, I'm just worried about my teeth. It's something that I just cannot seem to be able to control, no matter how careful I think I am. In addition, if you eat out often enough, and you know that plastics do not really wear out, why wouldn't you want to keep them? And that way you're not producing so much trash or just wasting things. I have never bought napkins, utensils, nor plates, nor plastic containers. Never, ever since I've been making money. Never. I just figure out creative ways to use different kinds of containers where my food just comes in and use it to my advantage. And I love to cook for people and share food. I don't have to worry about the containers that I purchased coming back to me because I've never purchased any. And I don't have to keep track of who has what. I only see the win on that one. And I already mentioned another thing that was on my list, which is the plastic containers. You guys get it. Napkins, same thing. I eat out enough to where I'm not really a messy eater, so I always end up with extra napkins. What I do is I bring them with me. I put some in my car because I like to eat while I'm on the go a lot. And the rest that I have to spare, I take them to the kitchen and let them sit there or in my dining room. And also, I think it's silly to buy napkins if there's always paper towels lying around. It's just a waste of money. Another thing that I don't like to waste money on is ceramics. I'm trying to look at my room at something that is like that and I don't see anything. Because what does it do for me? It does nothing for me. It's just hoarding stuff, hoarding materials. It's like making it hard for me to move, and it's also stuff that's fragile, which means that you would have to collect lots of newspaper to wrap those mugs around and take care of them. It's just a waste. I don't like living worried about something, you know? Now, if you're single, I believe that another waste of money is crystal plates or glassware in general, because you probably don't have that many people over. Even if you do, a pair of everything should be enough for you. So say a pair of plates, that should do it. But I know people who have stacks upon stacks upon stacks of glassware because they think it looks cute. To me, that's a waste. You just don't need that much, and you're not breaking plates that often. So if you're a single person, unless you really have an affinity for collecting stuff like that, that's a waste of money. Because for me, if I need anything, usually all I gotta do is go out, and the very container that my food comes in, I can reuse as a plate. So I don't get it. I don't know, guys. I just know how to use everything around me to my advantage. So maybe that's why I'm sounding really cheap, but it's just that I am actually trying to get rid of stuff that's not useful for me. I hoard a lot of things as it is, so this is just adding to my stress. Also, artwork. Now, this is kind of... I'll explain it. Artwork is a waste of money because if you want to decorate your room or your house, you have many creative ways of doing it. If you already have a subscription to, say, a magazine, or you get the newspaper, you can turn any image that comes in a magazine or a newspaper that you like, and you can put a frame around it or make a frame for it and just stick it to your wall. If you guys have looked at my room, pretty much anything that I have not drawn, it came from a magazine or it came from a book of some sort. And all I did was I gave it another layer of paper in the back so that I could put tape on it, and that way whenever I move I can pull it and it's the layer that I added that gets ripped off with the tape instead of the back of the picture. I have never ever bought anything that I have decorated my room with. If you're not artistic, that's what you can do. But if you happen to have some art talent, just make your stuff. It's therapeutical, and there's nothing better than waking up each morning and looking at your creations and being like, I did that. I don't know, for me that works. Warranty extensions. You guys know this, every time you buy an electronic, you have the option of adding extra warranty to it. Let's face it, that's a waste. For me, every time I have bought it, I have been ripped off of either the $25, $50 that it costs, because, you know, the salesperson is going to try to add this level of fear, and as someone who suffers from anxiety, you may give in to it. I mean, sometimes in the rarest of occasions, I guess the warranty does save you, because I feel like my mom once bought something that she was able to replace because the warranty was still up and running. Manufacturers know that your thing is not going to fail under normal conditions within the year or 2 years that these warranties grant you. Of course, they're trying to make extra money, so they're not going to design their product to fail during that window, because otherwise they're the ones who are losing. Just, if you're not someone who's clumsy, if you're someone who knows how to take care of things, don't get that freaking guard, because your device usually works, especially if you're spending a load of money in it. If you're nice to it, gentle with it, if you follow the instructions, if you're patient with it, it will work. My iPod 3rd gen, I bought it back in November 2009. I put the extra guard on it. I never needed it. It was a waste of money. It still runs just as fine. A little slow because it's not compatible with present software, but it's worked. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Your thing will work. Movie theater tickets. Now, I discussed this one with my boyfriend, and we both agreed that it is a waste of money, but nothing beats the experience of the theater. The fact that you are going out, driving somewhere to get that theater experience, and then that smell of popcorn when you walk in. If that's important to you, if that really makes a difference for you, then you go for it. But for me, I don't mind waiting for the movie to be at the cheaper movie theater. I'm pretty sure every city has that. Or for you to Redbox it or rent it from any surviving video stores. And then, of course, while we're talking about movie theater experience, the concessions are a waste. Because trust me, you can go to the dollar store and find the exact container, the exact packaging of the candy that they sell for just $1. And they're trying to get $4.50 out of you for just a water bottle. They're trying to get $9 out of you for just the medium popcorn or something, the large popcorn, whereas you can buy many of the, say, 6-ounce bags of popcorn for $2 maybe. It's insane. I don't like to spend on it, but sometimes I may just have the impulse to eat popcorn if the movie is really, really good. So sometimes I fall victim to it, but I try not to because I know that I am being scammed by doing it. Another thing that's a waste is fast food. And I have proven this to myself so much. I'm like, wow, I'm about to spend $7 on this meal when I could have fixed this at home, but the problem is I don't have the time. Basically, I am paying for someone else's time to make my food, which isn't even that healthy for you because the company is making it for way cheaper than what you're paying them for because they have the cost of labor added to it and all those etc. So it's a waste of money, but sometimes life just gets to you. Life is being life and you don't have time. If that's you, then I don't blame you. I've been there. I'm there probably 3 times a week, sometimes to where I just don't have time to cook, but I have to eat. So I recur to that, but I try to limit it. Or I use fast food to supply a meal that I had made at home, but for whatever reason it lacked something. It's usually protein. So you do what you gotta do, but keep in mind that you could be having so much better and you deserve so much better. So try to cook for yourself as much as you can. No one better than yourself to handle your food. And then finally, the last thing that I had was video games. The consoles, the games themselves, and the in-game transactions that you can do this day and age. I used to play Pokemon Go, and I said, I don't care if it takes me 3 years to collect the coins that I need to buy the items and the upgrades that I need, but I am never, ever using my real life hard-earned money on a game. Even if I had money to throw away, I like to take my time and actually make the game challenging, and that way when I get the rewards and the upgrades, I feel the sense of accomplishment than being like, dang, I could have spent that on lunch money, or there's people out there who could have used a meal and then here I am throwing money away on things that, aren't worth it. But at the same time, if I earn my money, I can spend it however I want, right? Well, just know that I do not want to spend it on games. If I were 15 years old, I would probably consider it, but I'm not, and I've never needed to accomplish or unlock something too bad in a game for me to be thinking about spending money on it. The only thing I did do was I was eager to play a game and I was searching for it like crazy to spend money on it. But like I said, I've grown out of video games in the process, so they're a waste of time. Therefore, they're a waste of money. Anything that is a waste of time, and you also have to put money into it, is a waste of both time and money. So stay away from that. Alright guys, that concludes my part 2 of the things that I consider that are a waste of money. Do you agree with any? Do you feel the same way that I feel? Do you disagree with one of the points that I made? Let me know, and like always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.